enjoy the fun, chatting with interesting people while styling while we run. It's Kickin in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.
Shabuda. Wait, he's got to be ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, good.
I'm always ready, baby. I was born ready.
Shabuda.
I was made ready.
Oh, just Shabuda.
I was shown to be Shabuda ready.
What happened to keeping it short?
Huh?
Exactly.
The actual entire cast today
It's just
is
the intro
Steve
part.
making cool intros.
Steve monologue.
Hello,
should.
and welcome to Kickin and Crocs, the podcast. We're talking about martial arts stuff, geeky stuff, and all sorts of stuff. Feels very empty on this couch now without all the other people.
It really does.
My name is Steve. Oh God.
We're 1/3.
My name is Steve. 1/3 of Kickin and Crocs.
I'm Dave, the other third of Kicking in Crocs.
And Nick, the final third. Hello, everybody.
Oh no, the lights.
Oh, I'll get it. I'm close.
I'm already up.
Oh, good. Okay, then go
It's
for
a
it.
race between crippled people.
No,
These
he
guys
can
are all
go.
walking like
No,
old men.
he's in his 20s. He can make it happen. There you go. Ta-da.
It's too bright in here.
This really does sound like a set of grumpy old men.
It's too bright.
My back.
So how was your week, gentlemen? How was your week?
So far, so good. Can't complain.
Busy. This is it. So this is our busiest season. So January through April. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're almost like tax season. Then we have I don't want to say a slowdown, but a little bit of a dip until July.
Let's talk about the world of banking.
Yes, the
Nick-
world
Nick
of
runs the
banking,
entire country, in
The
case you guys
world
didn't
of
realize.
banking.
The world of banking, not.
My specific division, January through April, little bit of a dip, not much, and then July, August, heavy dip. Then we go September to November, and then end the year.
Yeah, we're just getting back. This
But right
dojo
now.
just opened again like last week.
Nice.
So
Correct.
we're just
Nice.
back in the swing of things. And then I wanted to punch a girl that works for us, Lindsay. You know Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't
She'd
had
make
her
a
on.
good guest
She would be
too,
a good
yeah.
guest. We should have Lindsay on.
I'm making a list of guests for this
Lindsay
year.
would be a good guest, but
All new people.
Before or after you punch her?
we'll see. So
Right
we
before,
did the
just so we have to talk about that
usual
on the
like
podcast.
how's your Christmas? How was it? Blah blah blah. And she's like, did Declan get his PS5?
See?
I've been asking,
This is a sore subject.
Ready?
So
Dave's
my-
house, Santa.
so my son's been asking for a PS5.
Oh no.
for 2 Christmases now. He's been alive for 2 Christmases, and he asked for a PS5 for 2 Christmases. He's not received a PS5.
But
So
what
Lindsay's-
did he receive,
So
though?
Lindsay's like, did Declan get his PS5? I was like, no. And she goes, I did.
Oh,
I was like,
that's where it landed.
I was like, oh. So Lindsay got a PS5, and I was like, oh, all right then.
There you go. Well, I know Luca has been talking about the either the PS5 or the Xbox, and I said, buddy,
PS5.
I said, yeah, but I told you guys why, because I have the other 2 Xboxes, and then I don't
you
want
just
another
don't want
system.
innovation.
I want to consolidate all the systems.
But
don't
no,
want
but you're
better
getting rid of
games.
Xbox. So you just get a gaming PC and a PS5, and you're set.
I don't want a gaming PC. I want an Xbox.
Same thing.
Well, then
It's the same
the
thing.
one that you have is going to be the one that you stay with.
Yeah, because
I'm
they're
fine.
done.
It
There's no more
eventually will
Xbox.
I'm
become
okay
old
with that.
and get broken down, and then we'll be on the PS20,
And
then you'll have no
that
choice.
point in time, I'll be okay with it. 'cause
Anyway, so I'm
Kickin and Crocs money will pay for it.
So Declan,
Yeah, we're going to get there.
I'm thinking, what's the next holiday? So I think Kelsey said for Valentine's Day we're gonna get Declan his PS5. I think that's what she was saying to me.
Yeah, she
She-
said in your dreams, and you are a dream believer, right? So that's
No,
fine.
no,
Believe in our
I mean,
dreams.
yeah.
We follow our dreams.
It's second Valentine's Day. I think he needs a PS5
Work for our dreams.
Valentine's Day.
It's very romantic.
Yeah.
PS5.
You gotta get
Very
kids something for
romantic,
Valentine's
yeah.
Day. It's-
That's it.
You can put a little bouquet of flowers with it.
Yeah, you don't want to let him
I
feel
didn't-
left out.
I just didn't appreciate Lindsay's delivery of.
I did. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
She's good. She's good. She would be a good guest
I
to have
was
on this
like, oh,
podcast.
She
We should
got
get
you.
Lindsay on here.
She got you on that one.
Yes.
Well, I too did not get an
Dirty.
updated system this year, which is okay by me. But I
I
know
did
Dave's
not
been asking
either.
for it for a while.
No,
so-
I haven't. Declan has.
Oh,
My
sorry.
son asks.
Declan has.
Right. Anyways, we're recording this podcast a little bit earlier than usual because someone's not going to be around this weekend.
Nick.
Yeah. No, it's not
Yes.
Nick. For once this
Oh,
time
you're
it's
asking
not
me?
Nick.
Yes, it's you.
For once this time it's not Nick. It is Dave because, those of you guys that have been following us for a while, you know that every year he runs the Disney Marathon.
Yeah.
Should be cool.
And you've been training a lot
Run.
harder for this one than you have been for all the other ones.
Your time.
This is the
are
most. This is
awesome.
the most I've been training for running. I'm still not exactly sure. I mean, I'm probably just gonna stay with Kelsey and my sister, and whatever we run, we run.
No,
I'm
you,
gonna really
you
push
just
it.
go.
See, the way that you phrase that makes
go.
it sound like you get to stay with her the entire race.
I will probably try and stay with her the entire race.
Ooh,
Normally she
first
runs ahead
time
of me. No, second time.
Oh yeah.
Well, are we going to count the one where she was pregnant?
Yes.
He's like, absolutely.
That was the
Does
last.
Kelsey count
the
the
last
one where
time
she
we
was
ran this
pregnant?
one, we walked it basically the whole time because we ran a little bit, but we had to keep her heart rate within a certain range.
The young lady was pregnant.
She was 12 weeks
with
pregnant.
their wonderful child.
So,
Don't want to mess around.
so we didn't want to mess around, and they specifically told us stay within this heart rate. So it took us forever.
It's okay, whatever. You did it.
She had a
I'm sure it was
breakdown
an
at mile
experience.
like 18 or 20 where she was yelling at me, "When am I gonna finish?" Because like we were like 2 hours past where she normally finishes.
It's like we didn't hear. We're not here to run it. We're here to
And
say
now
we
you know how I
participated.
felt when I ran the half marathon with old Gimpy McGee over there that was just on with us last week, Lauren.
I was gonna say it wasn't me.
No, not you.
We do got to play that game with her. Coming up.
I
yeah, don't say
wasn't
that.
sure.
No spoilers.
I suppose.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was
We
going
have
to
a
be
game
attending
that only
today.
Lauren can play
I didn't know
with
if you were reaching out to her.
I
to attend
probably
today.
should have told her to
You
do it
should
today,
have.
but whatever.
I know. It's okay.
It feels like a Friday when we normally film, but it's not.
It's not Friday. Let's see if you guys can
She's
guess
not
what
back
day
to
it
school
is.
yet, right?
Can you guys guess what day it is?
No, she goes back to 17th,
For us.
so we have time.
This is in the past. Today, for you guys, it's Sunday. But for us,
yeah.
what day is it for us?
But they bumped so this year the Disney Marathon is the marathon itself starts an hour earlier, which means we got to be
Interesting.
there an hour early. So we're gonna be there at like 3 a.m. Oh yeah,
See, that alone right there
That's
just dissuaded me from ever
Yeah.
doing it ever in
So-
my life.
3 in the morning.
it's crazy. There's so many people that run it. It's like 30,000 people in the race.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then so like
30,000.
somebody was like, oh well,
Is
you
that
know,
bigger than New York?
No.
It has to be bigger than New York.
I don't think so.
no, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Um,
Keep going.
Kels, how big is New York?
Yeah, I thought so.
My wife is from New York City
Still
Marathon.
30,000 is crazy.
Close.
Yeah.
Disney.
New York is 50.
Is like 20 to 22.
Disney
she said.
2022.
22.
I'm
No, I think
repeating it
it's
because
30.
you're speaking from space. So I'm
We
letting.
have to, yeah.
I'm
we have
bringing
to.
it into the
So-
ether.
we have
of
to
our
well, I
recording.
don't see a fourth microphone.
what
set
happens
up
is,
today for some reason.
I didn't bring it.
So, well,
But what people don't
But
understand,
she wasn't going to do it anyway.
Somebody was asking me about it today,
before.
and I had to explain to them that like you get. They're like, oh well, you get to the start line by 3. So what are you usually done like, by like what 5, 6? I'm like, first of all, nobody runs that. I don't run that fast. Second of all, you do not. Well, one of Dad's is trying to.
yeah. So those are like the pros. The pros.
But I'm trying to explain to. I'm trying to explain
Yeah,
too. that
Kelsey is saying pros don't run Disney.
There are-
Prove her
there
wrong.
are-
If you're a pro, let us know.
There
Run
are
Disney.
elites that run.
There are probably elites that go run it, be like, I just needed like a fun marathon for once.
trying to
Just
explain
take
to
my
them too is that
time.
like, no, you
We'll run it in
are
a solid
at,
3.5 hours.
you are at the start line for like an hour or more because it's in corrals.
You're just waiting
so
for
like,
people to go, right?
So you're just
Yeah.
standing there.
Your group like
It's a walk.
there's
to the
like a
start line,
mile
says
walk to the
Kelsey.
start line, and then you're grouped into corrals. So like you have A, B. I think one year it was A through what G.
No, it's been
Oh,
through
yeah,
N
N
or
through
O,
N,
says
yeah, yeah.
Kelsey. Some years it's been like NOP, says Kelsey.
Right. So like,
I was gonna say says
so
Kelsey.
It is good,
you
good.
just
Way to
like
chime in.
they start the wheelchair people.
That
and
makes
then
sense.
they start the elite people, and then they start the corrals.
So wait a minute. They start the army of wheelchairs first, then the elite people just go running by all of them.
It's impressive sometimes when they. Yeah, handicap.
No, I
always
get
goes
that.
first.
It's that the elites go right after them, so that
Yeah, well,
There doesn't fly past them.
no, handicap people move.
Wheelchair, handicap, they go fast.
good.
Nobody knows what
That's
you're
awesome.
saying, Kelsey, because you're off microphone.
She stated
talking to
that
me.
handicapped people go fast.
They do.
You
They
just
do
my mic
generally
off
go
screen
fast.
For a couple seconds. This is an interesting conversation that you know more than I do. I've never been
So
to it.
generally,
Come over here and sit down for half a second on the edge of the couch. The new year.
I don't understand.
So
what
you'll
he just said
sit-
he's on
I
the
even
phone.
showered this month. Here you go.
Just don't pull the wire too
yeah.
hard.
So we end up waiting. So you're waiting, and they'll send like. So the wheelchair people go, then the really fast people go, and they're like, okay, now we're gonna go with A corral, now B corral, and there's just like 15 minutes between, or 10 minutes between.
Well, they've kind of condensed the corrals for the last couple of years.
The last couple of years,
But
yeah.
they send each corral off. There's like 3 or 4 waves in each corral.
Yeah.
And so like every 10 or 5 or 10 minutes, like it does, I think, go faster.
They send up fireworks, but you are waiting there for a little bit. You are waiting there for a little bit. But we take pictures. We take pictures, and we
I like the fireworks.
and the fireworks go off every time. No,
at Epcot?
Is it at
You
Epcot?
start at
Makes
Epcot.
sense.
You start at Epcot's parking lot, but the fireworks go off over the start. So there's a start line, and then every time they send a wave off, they shoot fireworks off as they're crossing the digital
The mats.
because you have a timing chip in your bib.
What?
So in your race bib, the race bib that you wear, there's a near field communication chip. So every time you step over,
That's
they
what
have
keeps
at
track.
different mile
Spartan
markers.
does something similar, but have wristband for it.
At
and
different
stuff.
mile markers, they have a mat that you step over, and that tracks your time.
And if you can also like have certain people be alerted, like family members, you can
Right.
they'll get a text whenever say you cross the map, and they're like, oh, they're at this point
They're
right
going.
now. Like
Yeah, it's a
kind of
little
a
delayed.
tracking.
It's a little delayed sometimes.
Put one on my lower back for when I hit the ground.
I don't see how that would help.
On the floor.
They did change. They did change the course a little bit this year from last time we did it. So, but you still end the same way.
Ooh.
It does
They
change.
changed the
I should've
order.
thought.
Magic Kingdom used to go through at mile 6. Now I think it's not till mile 10 or 11.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Main Street USA.
I've run.
Where do you end?
You end in Epcot again. You end at you end at Epcot. The last thing you do that hasn't changed in all these. So I've run this now. God, a long time. I've done it 15 years,
This will be my 7th. So
and I've done it.
Did you start with him?
No, well, yeah, no. The first time she ever ran it with me.
but he was doing it long before.
But I did it long before I met Kelsey. I actually did it like the half marathon the year I graduated college, the year after I graduated college, and then right after the half marathon, I was like, hey, that wasn't bad. I could do a full marathon. And I was like, oh, that's a lot harder.
you were dumb.
It was double what the half marathon was.
Yeah. It's way harder.
get it?
But you think it's
Not your brightest move.
yeah. But I've been doing it ever since.
It seems the logical thing to think up, right? Like
So
a full marathon should be twice
I've
as long
done
as a half marathon.
I've done the
right?
20th anniversary. I've done the 25th anniversary.
We do. They do have the special medal every like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I have a
cool.
bunch
So,
of them.
the 2023 was the 30th or 35th? 30th,
Something like
I
that.
think.
I have a bunch of
So,
them.
yeah.
So when I started,
isn't off
so
here.
this is like the fourth iteration of the course I've done because when I first started, they had the Richard Petty racetrack, which is gone. It's not there anymore. But used to run on the car, like where the cars drive. It was a racetrack. They used to drive the supercars around. So you would run on the track that the cars would drive on, and they would park all these classic cars around on the grass,
Car show.
which was neat. And then
Can I get in one of the cars and
a couple of
drive
years,
the
for a
rest
lot of
the
years,
way?
they had the Wide World of Sports was in it. So you got to run in ESPN's Wide World of Sports, and you would do the
You go around their track.
around their
And then you
track.
go to the baseball field. You go
Right.
around the diamond.
So they eliminated that.
What would you say is like the coolest thing that you guys run through in this race or run around?
What
I
section?
think the coolest part is when you go to the castle,
I would say Main Street USA and the castle.
Main Street USA, because they line it with all the spectators.
Like,
so you're running down
Magic
Main
Kingdom
Street,
is the best.
and there's people clapping and cheering. And you go up under the castle.
I do also like the end when you're going around the boardwalk with all the countries.
I hate that part because I'm usually dying.
I mean,
I'm just
you're-
like,
of course,
I'm
it's
only in
like mile
Japan.
25. No, it's mile 25. I'm dying too, but I do like hearing all the music, and it's later in the day, so there are like more people out. And
well, because the park is open
It's a
by
good
then.
like pump up spot because, like I said, the music and the people like.
and
they're all
I'm just
cheering for
dying.
you.
You're like, I'm like,
That's like a to get you through that last mile. Like
you run
let's
through
go.
you're like, oh, Mexico. Oh no.
I mean, you are absolutely dying, but
There's so much more, and like, that's why you can't discount the 0.2 miles.
Instead of having like a glass of water, it's like a tequila shot. You're like, oh, I'm good.
So
Italy, it's a little espresso glass.
actually, people do. So
people stop and get drinks.
people stop and get drinks.
Absolutely.
So I'll share my cousin. So I got into this because my cousin did. The first year they ever did the Goofy Challenge, which is doing half marathon and full marathon. My cousin Maria was perfectly goofy
That's
for
a
like
dick.
10 years. They call it perfectly goofy because she did the first Goofy Challenge straight on up.
every single one after
Every
that.
single one up until she stopped doing these. But she would do it where you run the half
You
marathon.
just said.
Yeah, so the Goofy Challenge is you would run the half marathon on Saturday, and then you would run the full marathon on Sunday.
You know, it's like when we do the Spartan races, we run the super
So-
or the sprint the one day, and then do the
So,
beast the next day.
When you get to certain areas, she used to run with, like, she would meet up with people that she only knew from the marathon. When you get to certain areas, if the park was open or if they were running it, so like in Animal Kingdom, she would stop and ride the roller coaster Everest. So she'd be in in the marathon, she'd stop, get off, they would do the roller coaster, and they would come back. They'd
Just
stop.
rejoin the race.
Yep.
People,
And they don't care if you like step out.
No.
No. Well, they have characters on the side. So, like, if you're not going for, obviously, for time, there's lines with characters waiting to take
you can
pictures.
stop and take pictures. And,
In Animal Kingdom, they have some
Those
animals
lines
they
get
bring
pretty
out.
long.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
They have animals that bring out in Animal Kingdom if you want to stop and, like, pet a turtle. They're there.
Pet a
There's
turtle.
like donkeys and like
Yeah.
birds of prey and like
Yeah.
I'll let you know what else next week.
There's
She'll take special note this time.
You guys should stop for pictures. You should do this.
we do
She gonna stop for nothing.
so she would stop in Germany and get a beer at the end, my cousin. So people do it. Not me, but people do it.
I mean, as much as I say I'm Irish, I would never do it either because I don't want to throw up before the finish.
yeah,
So.
yeah. But people try and discount that 0.2 miles at the end. It was like, it's 26 miles. 26.2. Do not forget that 0.2 because that 0.2.
It matters.
Now, do you guys, after you're done, what's the first thing you do?
Die in the parking lot.
Thank you. All right, sounds good. After that.
Well, we always hop into the parking lot. Then our parents are always there and they want pictures. You got to get the pictures.
Well, we have to
no, and
get
Declan's
find
gonna be
the
like,
meeting spot
Oh,
first.
yeah. You have to find the meeting
You have
spot.
to like get through the chute, get your medal, get your like little box of
snack,
food.
your snack
You know
pack.
what this makes me think of the cold water drop you did where Alex couldn't find Sarah because they didn't have a meeting spot and he's just running around freezing.
The polar plunge.
The polar bear plunge.
Well, what was funny about the polar bear plunge, I'll jump back to that.
Yeah.
What was funny about the polar bear plunge was we had a meeting spot.
You did.
We were
We had a
all
whole setup
there.
for
we
the
had a
fans.
whole setup. We
didn't
always
stay
do.
there.
Drop
So
our
we've
stuff,
done the
doesn't
we've done
move.
Sarah did not
we've
stay
done
there.
the no. Here's what happened. We've done the polar bear plunge every year, which by the way we're doing again in February. If anyone wants to jump in the water with
Polar
us.
bear plunge.
So
Couldn't be me.
here's what happened. When we went down to plunge into the water, Sarah gathered Alex's stuff.
Well, she's brought his towel. She grabbed his towel and brought it down to the water with her, and he totally missed her on his way back up.
Right.
meant to be nicer about it.
Right.
She was
so
trying to be helpful.
we're all drying off, and he's like, "Where's my towel? Where's my towel? I'm gonna kill her." So, yeah. So anyway, so what we do when you finish the marathon, you get your medal. One of the volunteers hand it to you, and then you walk to there's a whole. They have water and Powerade and a snack pack. So you get your little snack pack, and then you have to shuffle more walking.
All this crap to carry.
You have all this crap
On
to
your way
carry.
out.
They give you like a Mylar blanket to try and warm yourself
If
up,
it's
I
cold.
guess, if it's cold. And then
If not, they
or
give you a
they
wet
give you
towel.
towel.
It's too hot.
And then you have to walk into the parking area.
You have to walk through the chute. You have to get out to where the spectators are.
And then you have to sit and wait for them to find you. So everybody's on their phone like, I'm by the giant balloon that says whatever. And
there's
usually,
a sign that says
"There's
F
10
or
giant
G or-
balloons."
usually I'm sitting on the ground just waiting for them to come, and I'm like eating whatever they gave us, and I'm like, and then they're like, then everybody wants pictures, and you gotta stand up, take
And you
pictures,
gotta
and then
get
you
up,
gotta
and
walk
then-
back to the car, which
That's
is like,
usually pretty far.
which is pretty
This
far.
year's going to be
Yeah.
interesting because you know that as soon as Declan sees you, he's going to be like, "Hey, Mom!"
He's gonna want up, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fall down.
like, sorry, buddy. I can't.
So it is.
I'm gonna be on the ground already.
But what I can say is
Can you
we're
hear
not
it?
doing it this year, but there's been years where we've gone to the park. This year we're not going to go to the park. We'll hit Disney Springs for a little bit, like their shopping center, and we'll do that. But when you go back to the park, I've done where we've done the race and then we spent a longer vacation going to the parks. You look at it differently because you're like, oh, I was dying there, and I hated that part there. Like you just look at the park a little bit
And I
differently.
just-
It's so true.
And I
then
cursed really loud
and then
over
like in
there.
Animal Kingdom, you're running. There's a couple of spots where you're running behind the scenes. So like in Animal Kingdom, you run where nobody else goes. So you're running by
I mean,
the
a lot of the courses like that because it's all on service roads.
yeah.
You go like back roads past resorts and back
Yeah.
roads like to all the parks themselves.
Right, but you end up
That's cool,
running.
though.
You end up running past the septic.
I would say their wastewater plant or
The
something.
That's not
giant-
cool.
Like
That's not cool
The
at all.
giant
That's not cool.
animal septic
That's not
system
cool at all.
smells so bad, and you run past. So you're running by like these giant. It's
That's not
something
cool.
else.
Disney, do something about that. You have too many resources that you can't scent that area somehow.
I don't know if it would help.
That's a boo. There's no way you can't do that.
And they did it at Blizzard Beach, but you don't really do Blizzard Beach. You run like the
You run through the freaking parking
you
lot.
run the parking lot of Blizzard Beach. They took away ESPN and they added Blizzard Beach. You're
I
like,
know.
this is
I would much
stupid.
rather go back to ESPN.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
And Blizzard Beach is where I had my meltdown 2 years ago, so I really love that place.
Why?
When I ran it 2 years ago when I was pregnant. The
that was
Blizzard
my
Beach
whole-
parking lot is where I had my meltdown for the
Yeah.
record.
Well,
so
Blizzard Beach Park.
great
It's
memories
it's
there.
like you're like not even in the park. You do Blizzard Beach's parking lot, and then you're like, oh, that was Blizzard Beach. Cool.
It sucked.
Fantastic.
That was awesome.
I saw so much.
Love blacktop.
So it'll be good this year. My sister's running the Dopey Challenge again, so she's done that once before. The Dopey Challenge is the 5K on Thursday, the 10K on Friday, the half marathon on Saturday, the full marathon on Sunday.
So she'll be up in about 4 hours to run the 5K.
Yeah. Well, my nephew Logan's running the 5K with her. Well, at the same time as her. He
So
doesn't
he'll
plan
be-
on staying with
he'll
her. He
beat
wants to
her.
go.
He's faster than she is. Yeah.
I mean, she also has to do 3 other massive races.
So she won't be
So-
trying that hard.
She's not trying. She'll probably walk tomorrow.
This is the warm-up race.
Honestly, and like she'll agree because she even said it last year. The 5K and the 10K aren't really anything. They're like warm-up runs. It's really doing the half and the full back-to-back that's
Yeah.
a pain in the butt.
It sounds like it.
You guys are just doing the one. You guys are just doing the full race.
I always only do the one
I
race.
have-
People are like, "Oh, are you ever gonna do Goofy?" I'm like, "No,
I
why?
have no interest in
not
ever
no
doing-
desire whatsoever." That's a
No.
hard pass.
Going
Sorry.
to the park afterwards for a little while.
No,
We hadn't planned on it.
no. What we will do is we will. The big thing with him is we'll do Disney Springs, and then which is cool, and then we have my parents booked a breakfast,
Character
a
breakfast
character breakfast,
on Monday.
Oh, that's cute.
specifically with Stitch,
Yeah, because he loves Stitch.
because obviously he knows who Stitch
Well,
is.
I mean, we
And-
have forced him to love Stitch.
Oh,
yes.
Hannah means family.
No Star Wars.
Dude, there's too much. There's too much for them to
There's
do in
never
that
too
little
much.
weekend.
Zach one doesn't.
In that little
he
weekend,
doesn't know Star Wars
they can't
yet.
fit it all in that little
He
weekend.
also doesn't know PlayStation 5. He still needs one.
Well,
There's too much to fit into that. Little
we've done the
weekend. Star
park.
Wars
We've
itself, you
we've,
can spend a
we've
whole
done the
weekend.
parks before. Like I said, he's still a little young. He's not even gonna really get it.
I mean, the only benefit of taking him this young is that he's free.
Yeah.
Until he turns 3.
That's
he's
the
free.
only reason.
3.
That's the only benefit to
No,
bringing
plus
you.
my Instagram's been blowing up with all
Because we
these
don't have to
Disney
pay
like
for you.
tips and tricks, etc.
What's really a
Until
bummer-
they turn 3, they're free.
What's really a bummer is we'll have to go back, but what's really a bummer is the Nintendo World in Universal opens this year, but it opens this year
It's in May. Yeah.
So we're gonna miss that.
Time to book a trip.
But that looks so cool, and
Nick,
we've
you-
done that.
Nick, you and I will
so
go do that.
I mean, I would also go back to Harry Potter World.
yeah, so we did that. The one year we ran the
And
Disney
Disney.
Marathon. The one year we did the Disney Marathon, we did instead of doing. So we've done Disney a couple times, and then one year we did Universal. We did all the Harry Potter stuff. That's when your mom came. So it was her and her mom and me and my family. The nephews were there. We all got wands. Well, they got wands. I didn't get a wand.
I got a wand.
You got a wand, and Declan.
I have a wand and I
you
haven't
got a
even
wand,
been
and
there.
Dominic and Logan got wands.
My brother went there and then he brought me back a wand.
It was cool. It was cool.
I love it there.
I haven't
not
been
cool,
yet.
It's
I'm so mad.
awesome.
It's awesome. No,
It is awesome.
I mean, we did like Harry Potter World together.
Yeah.
And then they went to do the rest of Universal, and my mom and I were like, "Bye, we're gonna stay
There's
here."
no need for anything else in Universal.
No.
It
We
is
happily spent the whole day there.
I had
What else
so
even
much
is in
fun.
Universal that's like even bothering
I had
going
so
to
much
see?
fun
Like,
in
come on.
Diagon Alley because it's all the stuff they don't show on the show.
Diagon
and you
Alley.
want to walk around and see it all. I loved it.
And we waited online for the train and the whole.
Yeah, we did the train too, and they're adding to it, and they've added
I
to it,
know.
or they're about to add to it. It's worth every second over there. I definitely would go again.
Nintendo World will be worth seeing when they
I
add
agree
that.
with that for sure.
We'll get there. Yes.
If they don't have Mario go-karts there, I'll be very upset.
They do. No, they do. It's already a thing.
Then you
What was
know
that?
what we
'Cause
need to
the
do.
Universal
Mario
California.
Kart group chat reunion at Nintendo
The
World.
California, or was it? Is it California or California? Already opened.
No, Japan.
Japan. Is it Japan? Japan already opened. I couldn't remember where the other Universal was.
They had to have opened to that first.
It's pretty
There's
cool.
nowhere else
They
could've
show
gone.
off the Mario restaurant. They show off, but it's going to be cool when it opens. So we will go back.
Will they have a live Smash Bros. Arena
I don't think
where
so.
you have like multi-tier platforms to get to knock your friends off with the big rubber bat things.
But yeah, so that's our.
Like,
That's
come on.
usually.
Come on, man.
We do-
Yeah, yeah,
we
but
do-
on Smash Bros. platforms.
I do like just walking around Disney Springs too. Afterwards, you have to walk. So like the
have
mistake
to
I
move.
made a couple of years was like you get back and you just lay down and then everything locks up. I do go back. So traditionally, until I met my wife, before you, baby.
Don't blame her for this.
Well, now she's with me. But what we used to do,
He was talking to me.
what we used to do is I would get Buffalo Wild Wings or some type of buffalo wing.
Sounds like a good refuel there.
Sit down, shower,
Shower, sit on your butt, and
sit on
pass
my
out.
butt, and watch football because it's always the same week as the wild card game. So
That's
I
true.
do have football on in Disney. I'm like, but it's a little less of that now that the wife is around.
Yes, and there'll be a lot less of that this year because of Declan.
Yes,
It's all his fault, that
He wants to watch wildcard game.
we'll have it on.
I mean, I hope he will because I want to sit on my butt for a minute, but
yeah.
well, last year we
I
went
don't
to an
expect
Irish.
it to be
day.
that much
Last year we went to
though.
Disney Springs that had the Irish dancing.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
I mean, I enjoyed that.
That was cool. And there was a girl that
There's
looked exactly
the one
like
pub there and
Yeah.
the restaurant in Disney Springs. It's the Raglan Road.
the Raglan Road, and there was a girl that looked exactly like Shay dancing, like doing the Irish dance.
you
I said,
told
my
me
God,
that.
that's Shay Prendergast. I took a
You
video
told
of
me
it. I
that.
sent
Yeah,
it to
you told
Shay.
me about that.
Hey, this girl looks like you. Yeah, I'll show you later. I was like, oh, that's Shay Prendergast. Like, not like if you stared at her, it wasn't, but like if you like glanced away, you're like, is Shay dancing?
Shay?
Fair enough. I don't stare at Shay either, so let's not make it weird.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like,
100%.
And it-
a quick look.
yeah. So that'll be our Disney experience. We're not staying long this year, so because she can't get enough time off of work, and I didn't want to take that long. So it's like we fly out Friday morning, and we land Monday evening. So short trip, in and out.
I mean, it's also going to be cold, so
It is going to be cold. It'll probably be the
it's
second
not going to be
coldest
like
it's ever
the
been.
nice warm Disney trip we all want to go. You know,
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
the
like
second-
62.
Not when we're running.
Friday when we land is going to be the hottest day.
Yeah, not when we're actually running. It's going to be cold. It's not as cold. I ran. You didn't run that one with me. The coldest winter in Florida history, I was there to run the marathon.
Okay.
And it was actually my Uncle Ed, my Maria, who did the Goofy, her dad.
Yeah, but then Saturday, Sunday are like 62.
Yeah. Yeah, but look at see that time, see the early?
What time are you guys going?
3
So,
a.m. So
3
3
a.m.
the coldest,
So,
the low
yeah.
of the day will be where we're at.
So my Uncle Ed used
It's like 40, right?
my Uncle Ed used
Bring
to
hand warmers.
my Uncle Ed used to walk the half marathon. So he would walk it with Maria, and then Maria would run the marathon the next day. Until that one fateful winter, it was 30 something, and it hailed.
In Florida.
It hailed, and my uncle walked 13 miles in the hail.
The Floridians
and
probably
was
thought it
like-
was the end of the world.
Never again. And then that was the last time we did that race. The Floridians. So
They probably thought it was the end of the world.
Well, fun fact.
This is it. The sky is falling.
that particular race, everybody panicked. So every Walmart you went to was sold completely out of any type of long sleeve because everybody was trying to gear up because like nobody was like expecting that cold.
Nobody brought anything.
And then what ended up happening too was anytime you turned on the news or if you're watching TV like the night before, that they kept telling people tie towels around the pipes because nothing's winterized down there. And it's like this is
It'll all just freeze
So-
over and burst. Yeah.
So now, are you guys bringing, because it's a full marathon, do you guys bring any of those like gel snacks or anything to eat? Or do they give them to you there, or you bring your own?
They'll have blocks.
There's one station on course, I think, where they hand out gels.
yeah, they give you bananas.
They give you bananas.
Yep.
They give you a piece of candy towards the end, or a couple pieces of candy.
That's usually enough to get through the race.
We bring our own. You have to bring your own. It's too long otherwise.
Yeah, we carry stuff, and then there's a big expo that you like to walk around at. So, like, when you pick up your bib, so you gotta go to a place pick up your race bib. They have a big expo with different vendors, and then you can fuel up there, and then they give you some stuff, and you know you can shop for some things, and yeah.
I would not know how to prepare for a marathon. Like, I've never even tried to go. More
I
than
assume
4
it's
miles
kind of
is, like,
similar
my
to
peak.
preparing for a Spartan
So-
race, just a little bit more, I bet, right?
Another one I have no experience in.
Yeah,
you will
I mean, you
after
do.
this year.
I think I have less trouble preparing for a Spartan race, and I do think I have to carry less nutrition because you're not.
It's not as much
It's-
exertion. Yeah.
Spartan races, I mean, they're not as far.
No.
So, we move at a different pace.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of exertion.
Beast
It's
is the
very
farthest.
it's
Well, I mean,
very
I guess
different.
an ultra beast, I guess, would be.
And
kinda
Spartan's like on the
considered,
mountain, so it's elevation.
Yeah,
Disney's
that's
pretty
also
flat.
true.
I mean, it's like I said,
There's
it's really
some
the
hills.
distance that's.
There's some hills, but
like
it's really,
the
I mean,
on-ramps and the off-ramps. Like,
and it's really the pace you're keeping. It's really like the pace you're keeping,
Yeah,
and the fact that
marathon's
like
constant motion.
honestly, I'm
Yeah.
usually good up until mile like 17. God bless you. I usually get to like mile 17 or 18, and that's when I'm usually like, oh my god, this is awful. Like
okay, how long left? Like
the
I have
last-
eight
the-
miles left. Kill me now.
the last 6 miles of that race is
It's a slog.
Something else.
It's
Stunningly-
Like, it's like
stunningly awful. My favorite marathon quote.
just
and I
trying to
think
pick your legs up is.
Yeah, my favorite. I've never experienced pain like outside of like that. Like I've never done a physical thing where my body hurts so bad, other than a marathon.
And then you're like, I'll do it again next year. Yay!
Not right away. It takes
You
a little.
have to forget. Everyone
Yeah.
says you have to forget.
Yeah. Because everything
You do
hurts.
it, you get through, and you're like, "Hey, I finished. I got the medal. Like this is cool." And then like the next week or so, you're like, "I'm in so much pain."
Yeah.
And then give it like a month, and you're like, "Oh, okay, it wasn't that bad."
Yeah, everything hurts though. Like your shoulders
So
hurt.
by the time registration comes
your-
around for next
everything
year, you're
hurts 'cause
ready.
You're moving, and it's just everything's off. And then like you have to watch your nutrition as you're going. Because like second year I did it, I had a sodium fever because I didn't take in enough salt. So if you don't have enough sodium, you can spike a fever. So my sister, thankfully, it was one of the years my sister's running with me, and she knows all this stuff. So she's like, I'm laying in bed after the race, like, I think I got a fever. She's like, eat pretzels, moron. You have no sodium in your system. So go. All right. And then like I started eating pretzels and got some sodium. And I was fine.
I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
That's
"Oh,
hysterical."
Pretzel. Can I skip the race and just have the pretzel?
So, but you do.
Next time Nick has a fever, he's gonna be like, "Where's the pretzels?"
So there's a great. My favorite quote though,
so
and I think it
graceful.
applies to a lot of things. So I think it applies to a lot of things. But like I read it actually just this last year. A marathon is a public test of private will. And I'm like, wow, I think that applies to black belt testings. I think that applies to, but it's a public test of private will. Kelsey's piecing out.
Thank you for joining us. Always great having you on.
Everybody
So-
comment. Thank you, Kelsey.
So,
Next time I'll bring your mic and just leave it there. You can jump in anytime you want.
but it is a.
And then I'm gonna get a
public
wireless
test.
one. Then you're gonna have to leave it over there, and you can talk whatever you
Oh,
want.
I should have just given
Yeah.
her the body mic. She could walk around, do her stuff, and still talk.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it is
you
a
usually
public
do that
test
for
of
it.
private will because you're like internally you're like, let's go.
idiot.
You can
Why
do
are you
this.
doing this to
You
yourself?
can do this.
I'll tell you. So, about 2 years ago, when Nicole first started like her walking thing, which now she's doing phenomenal at it every single day, 6
go,
days
Nicole.
a week. I would do it with her. Like we would do the walk together. Like once a week, I would try to go on the walk with her jointly. And then one time, I got, and I know this is me being a baby, but I got these shin splints. I couldn't walk anymore. It came out of nowhere, just like
No,
bang.
man, shin splints are no joke.
And then I couldn't. I'm like, I can't finish. I can't get to the end.
No, that's
I'm
not
be
being
able to
a
get
baby at
home.
all.
Like it was weird because it was less distance than we did the prior week, but halfway through, for some reason, I felt it out of nowhere just attacked me, and I'm like, I can't walk. Like I can't
Yes.
even walk back.
Yeah, no,
forget jogging
no,
back. I can't even walk
Anybody
back.
that says that shin splints are like, you're lying to yourself. If you've had like real shin splints, like not just like, oh my legs are sore. Like if you've actually
Oh no,
experienced shin splints.
And I used to
yeah,
play
this-
soccer,
this
so
is
I
real.
ran, but I don't know what it was.
Well, you're running on
I got
grass.
hit. So yeah, it's true.
Soccer's
I
on
guess.
grass. Much less impact,
I think that's what I like about.
unless you're getting kicked in the shins.
I think that's what I like about marathons. Is I don't necessarily like them, but I like the mental like.
the battle.
Well,
There's-
Gilbert says that all the time.
I
He
like
says, I hate running. I'm like, what? With the amount you run? He goes, yeah, no, I don't like it, but
Well,
I just do it. I
Carolyn
said-
Durston said that to me. She was like,
Yeah, you said-
but it's
you said
like
on
your
the podcast
passion. And
before,
I'm like,
yeah.
no. But again, I think I relate everything back to martial arts because I'm a martial artist. But like,
Yep.
while it might not be the best cardio specifically for martial arts, it is great cardio. It does have some but the mental battle. There's so many times where I'm at mile 18, 19, 20 in that range where everything hurts. And you're just like, I am in so much pain. I'm out of breath. I just want to be done. I just want to stop. And you just got to, like, I always hit a point where you're like, I'm done. And then I have to tell myself, stop, breathe, just take another step. Just take another step. Just another step. Just let's keep moving. You have to start talking to yourself like, let's go. And then like one year I ended up running with this girl for the last 3 miles because she was like dying, and I ended up next to her. I was like, "Come on, we got this." And then we ended up just running, like, "Let's go, one foot from the
That's
other. Let's get this."
There's
done.
definitely something to be said about running with other people, without a doubt. I think there's
Bigger
huge
motivation.
Well,
advantage.
there's
of
an
it.
eerie, and Kelsey can attest to this too, but there's an eerie, everybody's chit-chatting for like 13, 14 miles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Conversations are flowing, people are chit-chatting, and then there's this eerie quiet that happens in like
for the second half.
17 miles where like you hear just the pitter-patter of feet
It's now survival mode.
and nothing. It's crazy because
Conserve energy.
You'll see
Exactly.
you'll see the odd two people chit-chatting as they're running, but like you go from like tons of conversation to like just this eerie quiet where you just hear the sound of the road and pitter-patter feet and nothing else, and you're like, ooh, we're in the miles
the
now.
end.
Yeah, now we're in the thick of it, folks. This is it.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you know,
The
there's
fog
pace
is set
groups.
in and just go in the right direction.
Yeah,
That's it.
I've joined pace groups before. Where
Oh,
like,
cool.
So there's like, if you like want to finish in 4 hours and 10 minutes, there's somebody that's holding a balloon up and it says 4 hours 10 minutes, and that's a pace group. So you join with
like
them.
they can do that.
If
yeah,
you
there's a-
stay with that person, you'll
You
finish
should
in
hit
4
that,
hours
yeah.
and 10 minutes. Right, and they usually run walks, so they'll tell you when to stop and they'll tell you when to
I think
go.
they had that at the half marathon, right?
Yeah, they probably had something.
I'm pretty sure I
similar.
saw
That's
that.
kind of cool. I like that. I never heard
So
of
they're
that.
really good
With
runners.
signs instead of balloons.
that-
Where they can do it. They can change
yeah.
their pace.
I mean, 4
yeah.
hours. That is where like they're running at a pace. So like 4 hours and 10 minutes is like, yeah, I could do that in my sleep. Let's set that pace because they're holding a balloon up the whole time on a stick. So they're running like this with the balloon up.
Oh,
They don't even tie it
the
to
people at the
themselves, they're
superhero
literally
half
holding it?
marathon. As I said, people at the superhero half marathon, they had like a sign attached to their belt with like a stick. That,
No, these guys hold it up the whole time.
Wow, it's
And then
a
they try and
shoulder.
entertain you and talk to you and like
It's cool.
play games, where you from, and start conversations. And so it's interesting. I mean, the pace groups are cool.
And you don't pay extra. You just see them and
No,
join
no,
them.
They're just running it with you.
Find them
Oh,
and you're
that's
like,
cool.
oh, okay, I'm
That's
gonna
cool,
grab
right?
that group right there, and you link up. And sometimes I'll stay with them for a little bit, and then I'll. But like, what's
That's cool.
discouraging is when you are with them and you can't stay with them.
Like they keep going faster than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you were like, you were in the 4 hour and 10 minute group, and then like you start dying, you lose them, and suddenly like the 4 hour and 20 or 30-minute group goes past you, and you're like,
Well,
Oh.
I guess I won't be at that time. You're like, where's the 7 hour group?
but it is,
the starting line.
it is,
Exactly.
It's an experience. It's definitely an experience.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
There's always some
Oh my
people
God.
like there's always like an old guy with a shirt that's like, I'm 70 and you're running behind me. Like,
Oh, I
you're
love
like,
that.
That's
I
gonna be
love
you
that.
one day.
No, that'll be
It's gonna
without
you.
a doubt. That'll be Gilbert. I can tell you that.
But I can relate
can't
to
see
what
him
Dave says
slowing
too,
down.
because like it's just something I do. I mean, I don't hate running, but I don't love it either. It's just I like the exercise of it. Like
Yeah.
people knock it. Like I know I have friends that are out there weightlifting, and it's like that's all you need. It's like nah, get out there and do a run.
Everyone's different. Yeah.
Get out there and do a run. Like it's different. It's just a different type of exercise.
Like I enjoyed the gym in my youth. I didn't really enjoy running unless I knew it was to build up for soccer. Then I'm like, okay, I'll run because I know what I'm going to do with it.
Right.
Now when I run, it's just for my own, again, like the mental game, the cardio. And I do need to do that too. I just don't have that same excitement for me. And I know it's not about excitement. It's not about motivation. But just that desire to want to go and run. I'd rather kick. I'd rather do
yeah, of
forms.
course.
I'd rather spar. I love
I
getting
do
in the
like
ring.
I do like the so I've been more consistent with my running lately, but I do like that morning routine of like I'm supposed to run. I really don't want to run. I have that internal debate.
Yeah, with
I'm like,
yourself.
maybe I could skip it today. No, I have to do this. But I always feel good after I do it. Like, all right, I did that.
Yeah, and Nicole's at that point now also. She'll do 3 to 5 miles a day, and she's at that point where, like, even in the snow, you know, the only difference is she'll bring the dog or she won't bring the dog. Like, tomorrow's going to be cold. We don't want the pads of the dog's feet to get torn up by
Yeah,
the
the
cold.
only-
Right.
So she won't bring the dog
The only
tomorrow,
thing that
but she'll
stops
go.
me is like Declan. Like I won't load him in the stroller, but it's super, super cold.
Exactly.
And I've had my mom watch him in the
Helping out,
morning
yeah.
so I can go, but they're all already down in Florida. So like I didn't really get to run this week. So like when we land in Florida, I might do like a jog, get a quick like something in.
Just to warm the body up.
But it'll be what it'll be. The work is done now. It's like
You put it in. You
Yeah,
put the work
Here we
in.
one
go.
more run wouldn't do too much for you at this point.
no, but I didn't get to the distances I was supposed to get to. I got far, but not like
What were you like 12? Was your highest?
no.
You got past
8?
12.
15, 16.
Oh, good.
But you're really supposed to get to that 20 mark.
Because it's 25, right?
26-2.
26 too. Okay, I was off again.
Yeah, you know.
I tried.
Yeah, well, it's after the Greek marathon.
Yep.
I forget the
cool.
whole lore, but he ran from one place to another place to warn of an invasion.
Yeah, and it was.
Oh, wow.
That's the distance that
That's
he
the
had
distance.
Wow.
to run. I
And
wonder
he
what his
dropped dead.
time was. I wonder what his time.
Good omen.
Yeah, but they were doing that without any fuel, any nutrition, any.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Different
Proper-
lifestyles back then, I think.
You think just a little indoor plumbing? Yeah.
I mean, just the tour. It's just what's amazing too is like people get faster over time. It's just what happens. Like,
Well, everybody evolves, and then they see that mark, and they want to beat
just-
that mark.
yeah, oh yeah.
Well,
and
even
it's just-
you though, with your training have gotten faster. Like this has been one of your fastest long distance trainings.
Oh
you've
yeah,
done,
yeah. But I mean, just in
period.
general, like times get.
Yeah,
faster.
the body adapts. It's called the
you
body
know,
evolves. The
Like,
bodies, the generations.
People are
evolve.
just running faster than they did 10 years ago, you know? Like all the Boston, actually you have to qualify for Boston Marathon. All those times are going down. Like now to qualify for it, you have to run so much faster. They did like 10 years ago because people are just faster.
Yeah, and again, I think it's like you said, it's generational. They continue to do it.
And the amount of knowledge that gets passed down and how you train and training
Exactly.
And
methods.
you
It's all
start
trial
training
by fire.
younger. You start training younger. You
Well, it's
can
the
take
same-
care of
it's
your
the same-
muscles better.
It's the same that happens in like
It's all trial by fire.
Oh yeah, it's the same that happens like martial, like you see that in MMA now, where like even the younger MMA fighters are just coming in are so much more versed than like back in the day when MMA was just like, all right, let's see what works.
Yeah, well, because now they kind of have the recipes are there
Yep.
for different. And it's not one recipe, but there's different
Exactly.
recipes that now work.
They were
So
able to
they can
watch.
start young with
Oh,
that
yeah.
correct or pretty close to.
Yep.
Hey, this is a strategy that will work here.
They were able
Yep.
to learn.
They
from
were
everybody's
figuring it out
past
before.
mistakes.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and then the training methods and recovery methods are huge now because people recover so much different
Yeah, that's
than
true.
than
It's very true.
ever before.
True. I mean, when we see it with older fighters coming in and still, well, they're not going to go on winning streaks, but they can still hold their own in a fight, and it's because of the recovery time that they're able to do in their training. You know.
Oh yeah,
You know, guys
I mean,
could fight well into the
Listen,
late 30s.
You see that with guys like, even just in general, like people that are like 50 in their 50s now. Dude, when we were younger, if you knew somebody like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and you met somebody in their 50s,
They
did
looked
not-
50.
They looked 50.
Yeah.
And now you meet guys in their 50s, they're throwing weights around in the gym. They still look cut up. They're still
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
50's not old. 50's like, oh, you're 50. Like, they're still getting after
middle
it in
aged.
crazy
Oh yeah.
ways.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be able to push the the entire faculties of your business of your body
Yeah,
further.
the
now.
science, I think, has a lot to do with that too.
yeah. So healthy and just healthy living.
Just the
and-
fact that the recovery techniques and like recovery after surgeries and stuff like that. Like if someone, tears their ACL, their recovery time is going to be a lot less than it was.
I
10
also
years
think
ago.
mindset, because a lot of times, like back, like when we were younger, you just accepted like, oh, aren't you a little old to be climbing or running? Aren't you a little old to be doing this? Like that was a phrase that was thrown around all the time. Like, aren't you a little old to be doing? And now the mindset's different because like people keep going and like, oh, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna
Yeah.
run that race. I'm gonna go do this.
It's the ones
I
that
don't
keep
have to-
going. The body emotion stays
the
in motion.
mindset's
Yeah.
the mindset's totally different now because nobody's like, oh, I'm 50 trying to stop doing this. They're like, let's go.
Well, you know what? Because we've seen that it works.
yeah.
So it's like I don't have to. I've seen people do it. I could do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
It's
people
cool.
can still do things.
But I do think mindset plays a huge.
That's
Why
the
did you
lesson.
say there, young man?
That's the lesson.
These
We
ages that
must
Dave's
all
throwing out aren't
take away from
completely out
this.
of our reach. So.
No, I know. I mean, you do feel like I absolutely know what I was like in my 20s versus what I'm like at 41.
Oh,
you
yeah.
definitely feel a difference, but it's not.
It's not like these are impossible tasks. No way.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Which I think some people make it feel that way. Like, oh man, I'm this age. I'm not gonna be able to. Sure, you can.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
I hear
oh,
that. Yeah.
You may have
All
to
the time.
remind your body or teach
definitely-
your body for the
you
first time.
definitely have to
but-
warm up a little bit differently. You definitely
Yeah, of
you
course.
don't recover as fast.
You have to adapt.
You
Oh, yeah.
know, those things are just true. You just don't recover as fast. You just don't.
Lifestyle
But-
has a lot to do with it as well. Lifestyle,
Say again? Oh,
lifestyle
yeah.
definitely has a lot to do with
Yeah,
it
absolutely, absolutely.
as well.
It's
If you
just
lived an active lifestyle leading up to it, then
Yeah.
obviously leading up to your older ages, then obviously, yeah, you could just still keep going. You've
Oh
been
yeah,
doing it your
I
whole
mean,
life.
I just don't know anybody that hit their 40s, even like good athletes that aren't like, yep, takes me a little bit longer to recover. Nobody's like, yeah, I recover exactly the same as I did when I was in my 20s.
even better.
The only
Right.
time
Yeah,
they're
no.
saying that is when they're taking some sort of supplement or you know what.
And
where,
that's fine. Listen, if that's the choice they make because they
it
want
de-
that
depends
feeling
on
of
what
recovery.
It is. Depends on what it is.
No, it doesn't.
Some of the
It
things
always
are
does, yeah, of
some of the things are a
course.
little more dangerous than others. Like, yeah, I don't feel the pain anymore.
But it's an interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not stopping anything. I'm still going.
Yeah, I'm
I have
excited
no
for you
plans
guys. But now you have to keep up with D-Dubs. That's
They
it.
say just wait till
Because
Zach
once he
starts,
starts, that's how it is. So, and that's one thing I always told
He's
myself.
gonna
I'm
be
like,
a monster.
well, I told myself that. I said, I'm not going to not be able to compete with my kids if they
Yeah.
want to do something.
Correct.
Right? Like, I'm going to play ball. We're going to play soccer. We're going to play volleyball. And I've been able to do anything they're about to do.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I might feel it afterwards. They're not going to know that, but I'll feel it afterwards.
that.
Yeah. But I think the only thing that they'll take me in is like swimming because I'm not a big swimmer, and they both like Luke is on his 5th swimming team, and Isabel's a pretty good
He's getting
natural
kicked
swimmer.
off. I don't know what's going on.
That's it. It is what it is.
He keeps on kicking people.
My
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
my thing
bad.
was always I don't want to be that guy.
You
That
went
was
into my
like,
lane, I swear.
I used to be able to do that.
I totally agree.
You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
always my
that's the
mindset.
worst.
Was like, I don't want to have to tell my kid, like, oh yeah, I used to be able to do that. Oh yeah, I used to be able to do this. Oh yeah, back when I was young, I could do that. It's like, no. I want to be able to do it.
Now.
Like,
Yeah.
no, your dad can still do that. Like, yeah, I can hang from a monkey
Yeah, I
bar.
can't
Yeah,
even-
I can.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I can't tell you. There's not one thing that the kids are doing now currently that I won't at least jump in with them and do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
There's a couple things.
but I'm
that-
also competitive.
there's also a couple.
so
there's
that's
some
not
things
great
I
for
won't.
Luca.
I won't be getting on any roller coasters anytime soon. So there's that.
That's okay. So you got me.
There's
there.
always the line
I do
drawn.
some. So I do.
Nope.
I do some of the entry level ones.
Oh, I'll do like a
But-
Space Mountain or like a runaway train, but like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So those are roller coasters. Counts.
like the Tower of Terror or anything like that. Nope, you're on your own. Have fun. Take
Well,
your mother.
that's why we go with our friends. Yeah, no. So see, Nicole doesn't really go on them either. So, but
Oh.
their aunts
Kelsey
and
does.
uncles go, their friends go. So
Kelsey's a ride person.
we've got a group of
Yeah.
folks that
so
go.
it'll be curious because Kelsey's a ride person for sure.
Are you guys doing the Great Adventure thing this year, like a pass or anything? Yeah. Oh, okay,
No.
it's not that far. You're only about
Yeah.
35 minutes. away.
There's nothing for me to do there. Is not a ride person. I
Jog.
never liked it growing
Jog
up.
the park. Nicole walks the park. They love it.
I don't know. I never liked going as a kid because like my friends would like to go.
But
and it's
you're
like-
not a ride person.
and I'm not
so.
like, and that's like a roller coaster park.
Oh yeah, it's a roller coaster park.
So like, my friends would go, and I was like, okay, I'll play that. They used to have a laser tag arena. I was like, I'll do that. I didn't want to do anything else. Like it was not exciting to me.
Yeah, and he's still little to get any.
I'm wondering if he's gonna be a ride
good
kid.
use
though.
out of it.
My nephews are ride kids. Both my nephews like rides. Obviously Kelsey, I don't. My dad doesn't care.
Either way, it's like whatever.
He falls asleep on roller coasters.
Nice.
He doesn't care. I mean, he was a helicopter mechanic. He flew in helicopters.
Yeah, that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
Army.
It's a non-event for
he
him.
parachuted several times. Like
Yeah.
he's like, okay, it's a roller coaster. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
no,
he,
but I
he
get
pulled
it.
several G's in a helicopter. He's like, this is fine. My mom will do like some things.
That's cool.
My sister did a lot, and then I think after Logan,
She's like, I'm good.
certain things will set her
Change.
off. Now, just motion sickness.
Do you roller coaster, Steve? At all? You're done.
Nope.
So do you?
No
do you
desire.
even go to amusement parks? So
I've gone.
you got. So what do you do? Like same thing? Like you'll play like the games.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah,
why I like
that'll
Disney
be it,
because I
yeah.
can do most of Disney's rides.
They're all,
Like-
they're made for you to want to go. So I'll tell you what gets me though, regardless if it's Disney Universal Great Adventure, is the digital rides. Like that have the screens.
The simulators?
Oh,
I love those.
I can't.
I love those.
Those get me more than I'd rather be on a upside down twisting roller coaster
No.
than the simulation ride.
No, I like the simulators because in my mind, I still know I'm on the ground, baby.
Well,
I'm
so
not
the
gonna
back of
die.
your
So
head,
no,
yeah.
in Universal,
Well, they do
it's a
pull you up.
It's a roll. No, in Universal in the Harry Potter land, like we were talking about
Yes.
earlier, it's a roller coaster that stops at simulation areas and then back into a
Yeah,
roller coaster.
yeah, I don't do that one.
That was the first one in eons where I saw Nicole turn white. Like because we went separately. There's a big group of us of friends. We went, and then she was in the second group, and I was in the waiting area. She comes off, and she's as white as like the back of that chair. And I look at her, I'm like, "You're gonna need to sit down."
They
there,
have
sweetie."
they have one in
She's
Disney.
Done.
They have one in
Done.
Disney. Did you ever do Soarin'?
No, it was the ride. The line was like 3 hours.
Okay, so Soarin's. I've
That's from
done that.
Avatar, right?
yeah.
Or something like that.
No. Soarin'. They do have an Avatar ride, but Soarin' was
Yeah.
different.
Okay, but I know I missed both of those, the Avatar and the Soarin'
But
ride.
Soarin' is a little different because like you sit in the chair,
Yeah.
and it's a big dome screen, so
Mm.
it actually you go all the way up, and it pulls you forward, so you're actually off the ground. So if you look down, like you're off the ground. So that one freaks me out a little bit, but it's cool. But it's like you're flying
Until it opens and drops you. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
But yeah,
Release in 3, 2, 1.
so
Yeah,
yep.
exactly.
while you're at Disney, might as well yell like Goofy. Yep.
The old goofy drop.
So yeah, so that's my upcoming trip.
That should be great.
That
Yeah.
sounds amazing,
I
man.
think you're gonna have a good
Yeah, you're
time.
gonna have to hear all about it next week.
We have
So
to-
stay tuned for that, folks. Next
Yeah.
week, next week's podcast will be all about Dave's marathon in Disney and
At least some
whatnot, his
updates on it.
experiences.
Yeah,
Yes,
won't be all about it, but I'll send a
It'll be
picture
all
of me throwing a kick in front of one of the marathon signs or something.
yes, please. That'd be amazing.
Do that early before you're too tired.
Oh no, I do it when I pick up the packet. I did it
Nice.
last year.
Yes, you did. That's right. I think we still have that picture.
Make sure.
on the
Yeah.
page.
Clean chamber, please.
Seriously.
We saw that sidekick, which looks fantastic, by the way. You're like, oh, was it the right sidekick? I'm like, it looked great.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw this crock at the comfort mood.
Oh, he said throw instead of kick because he won't be able to kick after the marathon.
That's
why.
true. Yeah, he's getting ahead of time.
Well, so wait, this drops on Sunday. Sunday at 6 p.m. You'll be done by that point, right?
Correct. Yeah. I hope so.
so
God,
he
if
won't
I'm
be
still
able
running
to-
at 6
You
o'clock.
look like you recovered great. Good job.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They do have a cutoff. Like you have to I think they give you 7 hours.
All right, pal.
Yeah. Sir,
The guy with the walker finished in front of
Yeah.
you. I think you're done.
you made it.
I think they give you like 7.
They just
or-
move the sign.
I think
right to
it's
him.
7 or 8 hours. And they're like, let's go.
They drive the finish line to Dave. Like, you're good, buddy.
Well, if you haven't already, please make sure you follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at Kickin and Crocs, KICKIN.in.Crocs.
CROCS.
The best.
And subscribe to us on YouTube to watch the video versions of this podcast and all the other cool content that we have planned for 2025. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment below if you have any marathon stories, running stories, just things about any of the topics that we talked
Disney
about
stories,
today. Disney stories,
ride
absolutely.
stories.
Yeah, anything that we talked about today. Leave us some comments down below. People really haven't been getting that much comments. Let's go.
We got some.
Only a few. We need more than a few. We
And
want more
one
comments.
person asking about Rob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I waited to the end of the podcast to talk about that.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that next week.
Oh, yeah.
And see if it happens again. Anyways, where was I? What did I
You
leave off
stay
on?
kicking it
Oh,
today.
no. We have to do the.
If you are listening, give us 5 Mickey Mouse heads. Yes.
Ooh, that's nice.
In honor of the race.
Stars, too,
In
would
the
be cool.
comment
Stars,
section.
stars,
Obviously,
stars
the
works too.
stars
Stars
for the
works
straight up
too.
star. And then 5 Mickey Mouse heads in the comment section to show that
I
you
don't know if there
are
is a Mickey Mouse
supporting.
head emoji. I think it'll just be a mouse head.
Oh, he did
That'd be
enter.
weird.
He did enter the public domain last year, so I
There might
think-
be one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. If not, then we'll take 5 Mises and understand what you're saying. So we'll take it. We'll take it. And make sure you share, like, enjoy, and stay focused on the road while you're driving. Anthony Botch, stay focused. We got you.
That really hit
The
home with
Mises,
Steve.
I know. Weren't ready for the Mises? No. Not his nieces, but his Mises.
You never heard like I hate Mises to pieces.
Exactly. Thank you.
Pieces to pieces.
I thought you were with me.
yeah. And you stay kicking
Mises
it
I have
today.
not heard.
Exactly.
Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Steve.
Always Dave.
Still Nick.
Love you from the bottom of our cross.
And if you ain't crocking, then you ain't rocking.
Enjoy the
Peace.
fun.
You stay kicking in it.
Interesting people while styling while we run. It's kicking in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.